You've waited for it. You've shown up, and now it's here. Hambbage playing more hardcore vanilla Minecraft. That's me, and I'm glad you guys decided to show up. Thanks so much. Hope you're having a wonderful day or night and are ready to be entertained. Maybe a bit of a stretch, depending on your preference. This one is going to be uh, fully advertised as we're going to be working on kind of taking over it downstairs and around here. We got a lot left to do. The previous video, we were back from the end and unfortunately came back to spawn again and ended up with all this trash in our inventory. So let's just go downstairs to start, clean everything up, kind of get our bearings about us, and we'll kind of get our plan to start working. So first off, we're gonna start pushing back here to get a full extra section of this chest storage accommodated or plotted out. We can do another one here, but we need the materials anyway, and that, as you can see, is one for the walkway in between them, and then another three, so we'll be down to here, and and an edge. So lots of work to do. We got loads of tools now, so we don't have to worry about going back to repair all those all the time, all that kind of stuff. But all of that's going to come into play. Again, not mincing words here. We are now in prep mode. What did I do with? Left them over here. This is why we need extra storage too. That, and we expect to have a whole bunch of materials to we're working with. So bricks there, all this stuff there, a little bit of mob loot. Upstairs, inner thing, use those, stone. Because we don't really need to carry around an extra stack when all we're going to do is mine stone for the next little while. Okay, so there's all that. The one thing that we have talked about and will need to do still is probably get another fortune axe. Hey, what an opportunity for us to sleep in this episode. Anybody watch the last one and catch that? Yeah. It is now known to me that if you don't sleep in the episode or in the play session that you go to the end, it can't find your bed. I didn't know that. That was a new one on me. Alright, there's 8 more of those. Before we forget, let's get our light gray dull. Dull? Let's make this really dull, because light gray, it's about as dull as it gets. Alright. Now, as I'd said, I'm kind of feeling blue that we may drop in the rest of these as blues, at least to start. Now, eventually, we're going to have a bunch of shulkers, so it won't be too big a deal. Do we have any here? Yeah. That will do. Little known use of the lapis. It used to be the kind of its only use is blue dye. So we'll just run these up. Now, if you really want the color coding and you find you need an extra one, don't forget you can leave plain shulker colored shulker, and that is an off, kind of lavendery color. that isn't quite the pinks or the purples or the magentas, so that will actually get you another box. But this is for me kind of the plan to beat at the moment. We're gonna leave that out. Let's drop these guys off. Oh, we still have all that cooking to do as well, or to process. So blue dye, it can stay up here with the others because we'll theoretically use more of that. Like blue, it's a great color. And then I wanted to get out and start our fortune pick. All right, so we've got that. As we fill up along the way, oh, we don't. Oh, we have the fortune axe. We may not even have fortune as a book in the deal. I'm not gonna sweat it too much. We'll probably need a big break from the basement. So let's go to work digging. See how we get along with this fortune pick. How long it lasts through generating cobbled deep slate. And kind of go from there. So let's kind of count this off. So this is walkway, and then as you can see here, we decided to go for a 3-piece shelving unit. So first, second, third, and then this will be our walkway again. But let's oh man, this is gonna be tough. See? Oh, hey, that's why this is so, never did actually do it at the end of the previous episode. I'd say it's somewhere around 65, drop it down to somewhere around 10, 11, 10 to 15 really for when we gather the Endermen or farm XP in the end. They are so loud that you really want to dial that back. Maybe you really like it. Maybe you don't at all. And you're like, well, tell me what to do. Feel free to deafen yourself. I will not stop you. Well, what happened there? Guess it was a part of whatever that was. Okay. Oh, there's two. Like, I back up because I might be in the way of placing those blocks. That's awesome. Uh-huh. Record your stuff on YouTube, then you too can hear about all your goofy little oopses from all kinds of caring and unknown strangers. You guys are awesome. I'm teasing, but it is everything you do in a game that you don't even register as being potentially embarrassing when you're just sitting there playing, you know, feet up on the couch, probably wearing the same clothes you wore for the last few days. Nobody paying attention. You do stupid stuff you don't even notice. You're just like, oh yeah, man, that was crazy. I've got all of you guys to keep me honest. Oh, oh, that's all right. And as you can see, I kind of don't have a whole lot of rhyme or reason. I think I'm going to go try to frame out the space as much as I can, but I'm going to grab all the deep slate as I go. Oh, I guess we'll need some of this to go back in as the floor too, won't we? I'm really thinking that through. We do have some. Really one short here of a torch. Maybe. Alright, this was our... At least we have chests for the cobble already sorted out, so that's easy enough to just toss in. Just fills up the inventory quicker. Couldn't even tell if it was deep slate or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, was that my first ored lapis? Oh, that's kind of cool. That's not as cool. Ooh. What do you say? Oh no. It's real good. Leave that for now. Yeah, a box. Probably should have used a box. Not much of the stone there, huh? Get some gravel. Know we had some diorite. A little bit of andesite. Piece of cobble. My bad. Still had gravel left over. And then here, this is all the regular deep slate that you've got there. To sort them for now. Got everything else. And we've got fortunable. And real coal. What are we going to do with real coal? It doesn't have a home. Go away. Here maybe? Just upstairs. No. Let's use a box. If we're still running back all this stuff, which I think makes sense. The stone and all that. I mean, like, why ferry it all through Shulkers? We're not that far away. Then at least here we can. Only 4. Got done by on that. I think. Okay. I don't know why I'm feeling the need to go get this stuff now. It's all in the middle of the area we're going to clear out. But why not? Ooh, some tough. That had been lacking. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Now if we can get enough stone elevating this all the way back, then we can fill in that floor. Use stone for now, and I don't think there's going to be enough. Can maybe at least get all the section that we're working on. I think this is still the walkway. I think we're on the near edge of the walkway, so not too big a hole left. Boom. There we go. Oh, it is just so nice to mine quickly. All right, we got that. Forgot to count. Good. All in a line. Yeah, should we just knock off this corner we're almost done with? Then, right now we don't have a lot of dark interior area. This was the concern as we followed that deep slate, that we were going to start spawning mobs and getting distracted, but with a good bit of it already gutted. Now, beacon will help this, but again, we're just splitting hairs of all the good stuff that we want to get done, right? To get the beacon, we got to spend a lot of time getting more tiers, setting up, and then fighting the Wither. Which is great. It's all going to be good, but just takes more time, and that keeps us from flying and keeps us from all those other fun things that we have to do in this world. And as I've alluded to many times, it does help with balance, I think. Keeps me fresh doing this, in increments. We had done a bunch back before we went to the end and fought the dragon. We've done that now. Come back, do it again. Do another little increment, and that's why the modules are good. But going to the end starts giving us end style stuff that will kind of warrant another side. So does all the Mesa stuff. So being modular like that, it can grow as we do. I think that's great. Clean up here a little bit of our mess. And now we're almost done with the least needed hallway of the area. Or the least used, I guess. It's... Very good stuff. Then one thing I don't think we've done quite as much yet, but I think as we go here, I'm just going to start stoning the ceiling, just so it's nice and clean. I think we've done it in places maybe, but not too universally yet. Eventually, I may want a stone or something that looks a little more finished. A stone, wood ceiling or something. I think that would look quite nice, but this will keep us looking clean. As we work and grow, that can be a much later project. Plus, there's all this potential stuff in the middle. So, like these couple, I don't know that we're gonna fill in some of the exposed areas. I'm just talking the various little pits and holes and stuff here. Something like that. Maybe it's not that big, right? And it's kind of right on the edge of our storage framing here. So that probably looks good. Yeah. Again, in the process, we'll get more of these less prolific building supplies. I mean, we'd already used up most of the diorite that we had in the nether, and I'd like to keep that look going for our various little bases. When, much longer term, when we do get around to ice highways and all that, it'll be a different deal. What are we doing on the inventory? Not bad. Let's get back to focus. So next up, let's take this section so we can then punch a row through, because I'd like to get this whole walkway done. That is a big old pile. Which is good, because we need a bunch of it for for doing the dark room. We also need to frame in the wood farm, spruce tree farm, too. We keep talking about that. Since it's so low return, this is tough, right? Tough meat, tough. This is our deep slate, deep slate. Do we have any of that this time? No. Oh my goodness. Oh, granite. Do this right. No. No, you were wrong. Well, then I almost put the wrong one in there. You there. Not making much of a case for my manual sorting being just as efficient. Alright. Well, you guys back over here to the goodie chest. Oh, no, not the goodie chest. Now it's got a name. Ore chest? Soon to be fortuned chest? This, I think, should just hang there. Alright, now we're back at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Three. Good. Ooh, looks like got garbage going again. That's good. Apologies in advance for any bangs or crashes that may break on through. That's what's going on. The world is not coming to an end, as far as I know. there's that one. I think we'll clip these ends first. So I watched recently watched a Netflix series, kind of slasher gore horror type deal. So very MA, and for anybody that frightened easily, I mean, I know it's, ooh, MA, maybe they say bad words or run around in their birthday suits a bit. Not much of that, really. A little, but not very much. But I could see how it could, people that are easily alarmed could get a bit of rough sleep after. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't know anything about it. Oh, I don't even think I've said what it was. Is it brand new cherry flavor? I think is the deal. Which I don't know. I kept trying to figure out if that stands for something or what. I don't know. Um, maybe something I'm just not not aware of. Don't try to stay too current on a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I was intrigued. Again, it wasn't my favorite. Like slasher horror, not exactly my deal. I'm more the suspenseful kind of, build it slow. What's going on here? Who's really doing what? And there was a lot of that. I mean, this is I think it was an 8-parter mini series kind of deal, and I think they kind of intended it to be a one and done. You never know, make enough money, it's gonna get turned into something. But they kind of set it up as being done. There's the old dumpster rattle on the truck frame, ding 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 type noise. All right, well there we go. Still got room. Let's knock out another section. These really do help because now we don't have to wander around. We can just walk right up to dump our overflowing stone. And by the time we get these couple done, then it's just a straight shot on through to finish up that last section. I like the emerald on the top of my the top of my portal down there, but that is the most self-trolly thing I've ever done. It always looks like either zombies or slimes are down there. Very good stuff here. And now let me just give this a whirl. once we get done with this row, we'll do a quick time check, see how we're doing in the episode. Another one that doesn't as naturally break itself into segments for me. Where I'm like, oh yeah, I think we did that. That probably took about 10 minutes. That probably took 15. Okay, we're getting close to a half. And, oh yeah, then we sat around talking for a while. Don't have those kind of clues when it's just, well, we stared at a rock wall. Every once in a while we went and emptied our pockets, but... even that is pretty subtle. I mean, I guess you could kind of get a feel for it, but then, the next thing you know, you're getting various ores in deep slates and stone, and so you've taken out, half a dozen of the slots already. And sometimes you clip the edge of a pocket of tuff, sometimes you don't. That takes up space. So, yeah, we'll just check it every once in a while. But here we go, we're almost done. Oh, that is going to be great. We still have enough room, so let's do all this while I'm still thinking of it. Just what we want, extra mining. Go. Get that good stuck on trash. It's amazing. I at least I don't see too many people that don't. I mean, it's all contained trash, right? People bring out their trash bags and stuff, and they go in. Sometimes you have like a big box or something like that, and that just gets tossed on top. But it's not like, people are coming home from McDonald's or whatever and just throwing their cups and all that kind of stuff in. It's not like the dumpsters are used as trash cans. I'm sure there's exceptions, right? I'm sure people walking by just happen to toss stuff in there. Frankly, I'd rather they do it there than on the ground somewhere. All right, let's do the aforementioned time check. 39, so still pretty good. Here. Okay, now let's reset since we're kind of off to this end. Did we get any of the cobbled? And we got some of the other. Andesite. Lots of andesite in this one. 3 stacks. Better parts of it. Diorite and the granite, which we had so much of last time. It's a little less represented. Lots of stone. Tough. And fortune box. All right. Oh, no, I don't have any stone. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. have a torch right there? We do. Alright, that should now get everything set there. That's fine, I think. Oh, whoop, no, that wasn't fine. I don't know what I was thinking. Ooh. It's all going wrong. Right there. Excellent stuff. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys if you're suspenseful horror and kind of movie watchers, any recent series or anything that you've really enjoyed. What's the most recent? I haven't watched much of anything too much. As I said, have said along the way, I a few weeks ago found that I was rediscovering the old Top Gear episodes. And so if I want something to watch, I'll just throw one of those on there. All very, predictably 45 minutes an hour or whatever. And a lot of them are, especially now, it was kind of weird. The earliest seasons, for one thing, that they were kind of predating what I recalled. Obviously I live in the United States when it was first getting going, and as I know of the history of Top Gear, there were multiple iterations of it. It at one point was a very dry and straight-laced car show. Just the reviews kind of stuff. Here's the new cars. Here's what's good. Here's what's not. And one of the main presenters of it, a guy named Jeremy Clarkson, who's or was, I don't know, I don't know how much he's doing of any of that kind of stuff anymore over there. Was like a newspaper columnist on motoring, and kind of, he's an opinionated guy. That's why he's got a personality that they put on TV. And a lot of those kind of opinions led to the show being a little bit outlandish and tongue-in-cheek. Just kind of his personality made it more comic. Well, then they got a radio DJ guy to go along with him. Now I haven't seen. Amazon doesn't have all the series, but as I understand it, even this Jeremy Clarkson, who's now they're all they're all older guys. They're kind of my age or even older, which says a lot. they made it much more comic, an entertainment show. You know, these semi-staged competitions and races and all that. You know, and very formulaic but funny and fun. You know, and because it's happening out and it's kind of originated in real life, there's some room for spontaneity in it that keeps it fresh and entertaining. Um, I don't know. What do you think? Let's get these. I guess just across the front again. Man, without that garbage truck, it sounds so quiet now. So where's I going with those? Oh, but yeah, so early on, I was watching the show again, and they weren't episodes that I'd seen. Always the same cast and everything, but just too early. And I've never gone back and really, rewatched any of it. There used to be reruns on, but um, I just I watched a good few years of it as it was. The BBC was showing it over in the United States as well, or selling it to whatever channel it was on. I don't even quite remember. I think we'll just go ahead and take this as deep slate. Maybe do a bit of the flooring here as we wrap up. We'll get some back as we clear any pieces from the stone area, but we'll need a bit for the floor. And I think I'd like to kind of frame out, do that walkway, all that good stuff. Maybe we'll hold that off and just keep digging for this one. I think we can get decently close between this and the next episode. I think we can get all the excavation done and the finishing, the ceilings and floors and everything. I don't know that we'll necessarily get the chests done, because at some point we want to change our focus over to, I don't think this is going to make much of a difference, but I think we've got a few slimes over in the area now. I see you two. Where'd you go? You go through the portal? Running away. Not a huge amount of XP, but gives a bit of a fresher bite to the pickaxe, I would imagine. Not much. The not having to deal with lava has been very nice in all this. So, sorry, slimes and all that excitement. Didn't know what I was doing with myself. So yeah, really enjoyed found the show through some of the, mid-tier antics. I think that's when it was really, really taking off, and they've probably figured, oh yeah, these silly Americans would actually want to watch this now. And so now I'm catching back up to those kinds of seasons. Oh yeah, I remember seeing that when it came out. Um, that makes it, less sit and watch. And some of it you just kind of, it's not something you have to be riveted to. Whereas the brand new cherry flavor thing, that, I watch an episode of that, I'm kind of sitting down watching it. If I miss something, I got to go back. So a little bit different viewing, but those have kind of been my main deals. The other thing that I've rediscovered or gotten back into, and I'll give these guys a shout out. I don't know them, nothing like that, but the Prancing Pony podcast is something that many of you would probably consider the most boring thing ever. It is it's a podcast that apparently grew out of a Facebook group associated to fans of J.R.R. Tolkien and his works, which are collectively referred to as the legendarium of all the Middle Earth stuff, right? So The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, most famously, Silmarillion, less so, but still one of the great works. And I'd found this maybe a year or so ago. But discovered it on YouTube and really enjoyed it. But then DMCA stuff and false claims and all that, things that they reported, hey, we've got approval. They've had had Christopher Tolkien on as a guest, and a bunch of other authors. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that. They may not have had him, but they may have had his biographer or something. I don't know. Anyway, they're quite scholarly in a lighthearted kind of way, but they know their stuff and they speak more about the language. And again, Tolkien himself was a linguist. That was his background. And a lot of this grew out of his, oddly, this guy, as awesome as his works are, he must have been just a delight at dinner parties, right? He makes up his own languages. So can you imagine what, if there's somebody out there doing that right now, none of us know them. It takes a while for those works to be discovered and then become beloved and recognized for the genius that they are. And I'm sure in the real, that current time, his fellow staff and all that are like, oh, what do you mean? We're going out to dinner, come talk soccer stats with us or something like that. Nah, I'm going to go work on this language. Okay. I can imagine how that goes. But, yeah, he did it and obviously has tons of loyal fans now. And, the whole Comic-Con, that kind of world that I don't really feel too drawn to. Certainly, it picks up on all that from the movies that have come out, and gaming and all that. Certainly, D&D owes a ton to Tolkien for the development of a lot of the creatures and game tropes that we all know and enjoy games in today. Though a lot of that stuff comes direct from Tolkien. He is the legitimate father of modern fantasy. Orcs are things of his creation, and the Silmarillion goes into talking about how all those things came to be. And he, in growing a language and the peoples and organization that would have developed these and how they all interrelate, he also created all this rich background and legacy, and it's amazing stuff. But particularly the Silmarillion, and I remember from my own first reading of the Fellowship of the Ring, in order, the Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King, that those were challenging books, especially as you get started without any grounding. And I knew that the movies were coming out, but I don't think that they'd shown it. I never really read The Hobbit as a kid. I'd seen like a children's theater production of it, I recall, but I didn't know anything really about it. Just found that by the time I had spent the time reading through the stuff that is kind of assumed, and it's an amazing style of writing that puts the author in that world and makes certain assumptions. And we've talked about it before, like the cats of Beleriand or whatever it is, Beleriand or something. Don't know that I'm getting that right. Apologize to anybody if I am, but it just assumes that you understand things, and it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke, and partly what he's doing, with himself as he's writing these things out, that he knows the history and can keep it tight in his own mind, and it is has characters refer to other commonly known or identifiable characters that everybody would know. If I say King Arthur, I think most people know to associate that to the Knights of the Round Table, or the Holy Grail, or any of those kind of things. England, medieval king, Excalibur. There's certain things that you just associate. You don't need to have read the Old English or Old French tales of them. They're commonly held characters, or even more so, historical people. Henry VIII, people know who that is. George Washington. Those are names that are kind of universally known amongst the culture. You don't have to go into a lot of explanation and say, oh yeah, I'm talking about George Washington now. He was the first president of the United States of America. Those things are just kind of commonly held in the public's mind. You don't have to explain those details. And he writes with that attention to detail and kind of knowledge that you don't need to explain or introduce to your people, who the high elves are, or what the major deity type powers are, because everybody in the world would already know that. They come to light wonderfully because he doesn't just spend the first chapter going, and in this world there were elves, and the elves were the characters introduce those through their own experience and project their own attitudes to them. There's a lot of history between dwarves and elves and men. Those 3 points of the trifecta, and particularly in the writing of The Hobbit and the Rings trilogy, the characters show, they're written in the perspective of the hobbits, so they're kind of off to the side, but they're seeing how these different groups interact and react and have biases to one another. So fascinating stuff. But this podcast, again, the Prancing Pony podcast, do recommend it, is on Spotify. So I've been, listening to those, but that is something where I need to kind of, all right, focus. And I usually do as I'm falling asleep. So it usually is like a week for an hour's episode, right? Because I'll nod off despite myself. It's fascinating stuff, but it does just take concentration to know where they're going and keep the name straight and all that. So huge recommendation. If you're a fan of the books, I definitely recommend checking them out. Give it a chance or jump around there. They're about 220 episodes in, maybe every other week or so they do one. And honestly, I don't know because I went back to the beginning and started, and they're going Silmarillion and then into the Hobbit and the Rings trilogies in order. So, they're 200 in. I think they're well through the Silmarillion and would be moving, if not past the Hobbit, than there. So, definitely recommend that. Let's see where we're at. That was an hour and one. Perfect. So yeah, check that out if you're a fan of reading the books. Not just the movies. You probably won't get a whole lot out of just listening to a bunch of bibliophiles talking about the books and glowing terms about the author and what else going on. But if you really are curious about where those characters' backstories go and how they interrelate and why things played out the way they did in the later books, check it out. If you haven't read the Silmarillion, I recommend it. I'm still just getting started, and it finally came, and I finally caught up on some other books I was reading to start in. But I'm loving it, and it definitely helps a first time through to have podcasts where they've kind of talked through the high points and here's how the characters are, good humor and all that too. So anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. We'll catch up in the next episode and expect more of the same. We're gonna work the floor and the ceiling, try to clean all those pieces up and get the cutting of that done. I think I'll go one more through so we have a full outer edge, but we're gonna have some lava to deal with, all the rest, and basement-y stuff in the next one. So if you love this one, you are in for a treat. Come on back for the next. Let's get this out of the way and get a thank you screen up for you guys because I really do appreciate you all coming around. We'll see you for the next one. Stay awesome. Bye now.